Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here. It is February 22nd. Xur has arrived. He is on Io over in the Giant Scar, so let's go over and see what he's got. So from the landing zone, split these two rocks through the building to your left, and he's always in his cave. I'm trying to hit the full ramp right about here. Dodge over, and you can dodge most of the enemies. Alright. Xur is in the corner, so let's see what he's got. Tentacle face man. Be good.
I am an agent of the night.
Probably not so good. Alright, so we got Faded Engram, Nightfall Challenge card, all the usual stuff. Graviton Lance is the weapon. Feel like this is one I haven't actually seen in a while. Cool looking weapon. Got a nice buff when it came to Forsaken. There was a point where it was actually really fun to use. It's still decent, actually. It's a pretty farther range pulse rifle, though. It is a 2-shot burst. The second shot of a burst rips a hole through space-time, doing high damage and recoil with no fall-off. So, as I say, this thing is more beneficial at range. Something like Vigilance Wing and Graviton Lance were kind of going back and forth, and depending on what you preferred. Vigilance Wing had that like 5-shot burst, kind of continuous motion, a little easier to use, somewhat closer up. This one, you got to make your shots count, but you can do it from much farther away. So, insane stability, range is up there. If you put the masterwork on it, it can do some pretty solid stuff. But yeah, the 2-shot burst, it's pretty cool gun. It is fun to use. It's not top of the meta anymore. There are definitely other ones. But if you don't have it, it is still a fun one to use. In PvE, the explosions this thing does with Cosmology are a lot of fun. Kills with this weapon cause the enemy targets to detonate and spawn void projectiles that track targets. Pretty much say you shoot a throw, it explodes into things that break into more little void things, and it can actually have some really cool chain explosions, especially on small enemies. Accurized rounds, hammer forge rifling, and fitted stock, all pretty good. As I said, insanely high stability, which is ridiculous. Range is pretty solid in the first place, decent impact. It's a fun gun to use. You can still put some work in PvP. I'm sure it's probably not like the best gun, but if you're trying to stay back, trying to have some fun, mix it up, I definitely would say add this thing to your collection, see how it feels for you. There's still some moments in PvE that this thing could be fun. I think it's just been outshined by mainly machine guns and things in the heavyweight slot, pulling away from other exotics. So that's just one of those to keep in mind. But if you don't have this for some reason, add it to your collection, pick it up, pull it out, see how it feels. For the hunters, we have Orpheus Rig. I've probably said this before, but buy it. Just buy this gun. Or these boots. Sorry, no gun. Uncanny Arrows provides ability energy for each enemy tethered by deadfall anchors. Mobius Quiver has more shots, so you get more shots on Mobius Quiver when you're trying to tether multiple places, and you actually get ability energy back when you tether people. So if you put your tether in the middle of a huge group of enemies, you almost can have your tether completely filled again, which is kind of great. So it's a really great PvE exotic for Shadow, for Void Hunters. So if you do not have this one, for sure get it. I don't think the perks are amazing. Fusion Rifle Dexterity, Hand Cannon Dexterity, Outreach, Melee cooldown when using your class ability, yeah, that's fine. Scare Rifle Scavenger is probably one of my least liked things of all together. Special Ammo Finder's not bad though. But if you just don't have these, doesn't really matter about the perks, just get these so you have them when you need to do that tethering in a PvE, raid, strike, whatever. It's basically the only way to do tether. For the Titans, we have the Synthoceps. These are actually not bad. I wouldn't put them at the ultra top. It is kind of funny to actually have an exotic helm on and then have these in the fashion show here. Biotic Enhancements increases melee lunge range, which is not a bad one for PvP. Improved melee and super damage when you're surrounded. So if you've got a roaming super going around in PvE, especially doing more damage, something like Whisper the Worm, like if you switch over to these when you get to the, like if you're running Lion Rampants and you want to switch over and do some more damage with your super, these are a great thing to switch over to for like a solo Whisper run. It's what I used to do. The improved melee and super damage, especially when surrounded, kind of stacking, it's a really good thing. And the perks it's got on this one are pretty solid. So you got Restorative Mod as an option, Fusion Loader, Hand Cannon Loader, or Impact Induction. But the fact that you've got Sniper Rifle Scavenger and Machine Gun Scavenger, both good. Machine Gun Scavenger, I pretty much run with that constantly right now the way machine guns are. But if you're running Whisper or a heavy Sniper, Sniper Scavenger is really good too. So pretty decent perks with the scavengers alone, kind of a fun one to use in certain PvE situations. The melee lunge range I haven't really tested in PvP. If somebody knows better than I do on the comments below, let me know, but definitely one I would add and mix in your use, because sometimes if you get like the roaming supers now, like Fist of Havoc, I think it's Bottom Tree now, that can roam for nearly forever, it feels like. I mean, increased super damage when you're surrounded, you're going to be nothing but up on enemies, so definitely can definitely put in some work. Finally, for the Warlocks, it is a sad week, the Aeon Soul. These Aeon exotics were okay in theory, but they're really not that great. Throwing grenades grants the following to nearby Aeon cult wearers, and that means each class has an Aeon exotic. Unfortunately, none of them are that great. So throwing grenades grants energy to the following. Warlocks get grenade energy, Titans get barricade energy, Hunters get dodge energy. So each class energy gets a boost. Other allies receive a fraction of the shared energy. So if you were just trying to run with, like, I mean, if 6 people had these and you were all throwing grenades and you kept throwing them, maybe you'd like be able to help each other with like a crazy infinite amount of grenades. But honestly, there's so many better things out there. You could add it to your collection if you need to cross it off the list, but sadly, not going to spend too much time here. The perks on it are reasonable. I mean, you got Machine Gun Scavenger and Sniper Rifle Scavenger. And if you don't have anything with Sniper Rifle Scavenger, you're a new Warlock. It's not going to be a great exotic, but if you need that Scavenger perk and you don't have any other exotic that like really fits the bill for your build or anything like that, this perk is worth something in itself. But if, you know, you have pretty much anything else, it's probably going to be better. So pretty lackluster there. Graviton Lance is a fun gun. Orpheus Rig is a must-have. Synthoceps is probably underrated, so I'd pick those up too. Aeon Soul, just check the collection box. That's pretty much all you're doing there. But that wraps up Xur for the week. Just finished the Last Word podcast with Cognito. I will work on getting that one up for you guys later today or tomorrow. Maybe leave that one for you guys tomorrow morning, something to listen to while I'm working. But stay tuned to the stream. You guys can find me on twitch.tv/Ebontis. I'll be working on some Shattered Throne runs and things like that. Maybe some Anthem this weekend as well. So probably streaming a lot if I've got downtime. And other than that, you guys know where to find me. Twitch, it's Ebontis. Twitter, it's Ebontis. And right here on YouTube, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you got a question, comment, anything like that, just want to say hello, leave that down below. Or if you got some thoughts about exotics and builds, of course, share it with everybody. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We are less than 100 away from 33,000. Let's see if we can break that one here in the next couple of days and keep on climbing. So enjoy your week. Have fun in whatever game you're playing. No need to bash anybody's enjoyment of any game. Honestly, if you're having fun, enjoy it. If you're not having fun, go play a different game. Have a good one, and I will see you all soon.